This time I'm going to use the tablet and the $15 OBD2 reader that we use on the LS swap. Clear codes. Error codes cleared. Okay. So the check engine light is back on the TrailBlazer again. I deleted it once already, and it was P0300, P0300, multiple random misfire. So I figure this vehicle might need new spark plugs, so I picked up some new spark plugs for it, and it seems to run okay. Seems to run alright. But I'm going to change the spark plugs on it, and the vehicle's been sitting around for a while, so maybe I'll put a little bit of methyl hydrate in the gas tank. There might be a little bit of condensation in the gas tank. It's been cold, hot and cold here in Canada. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change spark plugs. They're not super easy to get at, but they're not that difficult either. Okay, here we are under the hood, and the spark plugs are actually underneath of this box. So I've already had the breather box off over here to install the lift kit, so it shouldn't be too difficult to get that box off. This is a 10 millimeter bolt right here, and I think there might be another 10 millimeter bolt. There's a clamp right here on the throttle body. It needs to be undone back here. Oh, I can't even see it. I have to get on top of the fender, get right up in here, because the lift kit makes it a little bit harder to reach. I think that's it. There's a clip back here that holds a wire, so I'll unclip that. And there's a tube here that goes into the valve cover. That's the box there. You can pretty much see straight through it. Seems to me that this is more like a hot air intake rather than a cold air intake. Anyway, the coil packs are right there, and the spark plugs are under the coil packs. It should be a 10 millimeter again to hold the coil packs on. After I took off the air tube and the air box there on top, there was a whole bunch of stuff like that. Maybe a chipmunk's nest or something. So I just stuck this tube on here for now, so I can blow all this stuff out without getting anything in the throttle body. So I'm going to take some compressed air and just blow all those, whatever that is, leaves and yard debris. I don't know. I'm kind of glad I took that box off, that air box. It was underneath of that. I don't really like this idea, this air box. So maybe we'll put a cold air intake on it someday. So I only had that tube on there just to keep the stuff out of the throttle body. So it can come off now. The coil packs are held in with a 10mm bolt. The bolt is in front of the coil pack. All 6 of them. This is an inline 6, 4.2 liter. Okay, there's 6 coil packs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the 6th one is, she's in there somewhere. Yeah, she's back there. The good news is the bolts are all in the front. So I've taken them all out except for the very front one and the very back one. So for the very front one, I heard that you should take this plastic piece here and remove it, but it's a wire loom, all the wires go through it, and you can see wires coming out here and here and here. But the bolt is not that difficult. It's right there. It's not that difficult, I don't think. So since I'm creative, I'm gonna see if I can get in there. I've got one of these wobbler extensions which allows the socket to wobble a little bit, kind of like a universal, and a shallow socket. It's a little bit dark in there. I think I'm on there, but Lord knows if I'll get that bolt out or not. I apologize about the wind lately. It's springtime and the weather change brings on the wind. I do have a better microphone on my other camera, but my other camera is bigger and heavier. I kind of like this thing because it's easy to shoot. Anyway, at the front here, I got that bolt out. There, I just put a tiny 1/4 inch ratchet and extension down there with the wobbler and a shallow socket. And the very back one, the number 6, it's back there. It's not easy to get at, but it's not impossible either. I'm on it right now. I got it loose. I think I got all the threads out. So now that all the bolts are loose or out, you can just take the coils and just pull them out. You might want to unplug them if you don't have enough length. You might want to unplug them. And underneath of the coil, the spark plug. Spark plug's down in there. So that's why I wanted to blow it out with compressed air, because I don't want to get any dirt or anything down in there. So there's 6 spark plugs, 6 coils, 6 bolts, and the front one's not that easy to get the bolt out. The back one's going to be tricky to get the spark plug out, but if you have the right length of extension and a little bit of patience, I think we'll get her done. Looks like these are 5/8 spark plug wrench. They don't feel that good. They feel like they're coming out tight. I guess it only makes sense to start at the front, so I'm going to start at the front. Well, you know what? They don't look terrible. This doesn't look too terrible. But I got new ones, I guess better change them. I feel really bad about this. They gave me NGK, the no good kind. So here I am taking out Delco plugs and putting in some NGK, which isn't not usually the thing I would do, being a old school GM guy. Anyway, here's a Delco plug that I just pulled out. It doesn't look that bad. And here's the NGK. I'm going to put a little bit of aluminum anti-seize compound on the threads because they're long thread and this one came out a little bit tight. So I'm just going to put some anti-seize compound on there and put her back together. I'm going to start with the front and make my way to the back. The back one's going to be tight, but I'm sure we can do it. Put a little bit of anti-seize compound on there. Slowly and carefully thread it back in. Spark plug sockets have usually they have a hex down here, and they have a rubber so the spark plug doesn't fall out. These ones are 5/8. I started unplugging the coils. Makes it a little easier to put them back in and take them out. There's a little gray safety that you have to slide back on the coil plug, and then you can unplug them by pressing down on that black tab. So I got the front 4 done. Now I got to get the back 2. I think I'm going to need a shorter extension for them. Oh my goodness, what a chore that was. That's number 6 right there. Finally. Last one. Well, I'm putting the anti-seize on the last one. Well, I got all the spark plugs in, all the coils on. It wasn't too bad. I had to use 2 short extensions to get the back one out and break them apart to get it out, but anyway, it wasn't too bad. This PCV from the valve cover goes straight into the intake, same as the LS motors, and there's oil in the valve covers that goes to the rockers. So often you might find in the intakes of these, you might find oil, and that can foul the spark plugs, and it can make the throttle body dirty as well. So I just sprayed a little bit on it because it was pretty dark around the edges. I imagine on the inside, I imagine it's even worse. Oh yeah. So I might have to clean that a little bit. I'm just going to spray it a little bit for now. Yeah, probably going to have to clean the throttle body. But for now I'm just going to spray it. I won't be taking it off today. Alright, got it all back together again. And I think I'm going to do a cold air intake someday. Not today, but maybe delete that box off the top. Oh, look at those fancy LED lights. We've done quite a few things to this vehicle now. We did lift kit, rims, tires, wheel adapters, new shocks, new trailing arms, LED light bar, LED interior lights, new spark plugs. I just put a little bit of seafoam. In the tank, so I'm not sure where the random misfire is coming from. I figure it's either fuel or ignition, one or the other. So I sprayed a little bit of fuel and seafoam into the throttle body and tried to wash it out, clean it out a little bit without getting too much fuel down in the intake. I'm going to scan it. This time I'm going to use the tablet and the $15 OBD2 reader that we use on the LS swap project. I think it's got a little bit of oil on it, but that's okay. So I'm going to try this. I'm going to try to see if I can read and delete the codes with this. I'm using the Real Dash app. I think it's my favorite between Real Dash and what's the other one? Torque app. I think Real Dash is my favorite, so I'm going to plug this in. The voltage is going crazy because I got the battery on charge and the battery drained out when I was working on it, or the battery drained down. I don't know why it's bouncing all over the place. Maybe the battery charger's not, maybe it's not got a good connection. I gotta find out if I can read the codes and delete the codes somehow. Dyno log viewer. This thing has data logging. This app has data logging, which is pretty cool. No, I don't want to do a dyno run. My tablet is really dirty right now. Settings. Data logging. Error codes. Okay. There we go. Oh, that's a new one. Great. 0103. Is that it? Clear codes. Error codes cleared. Okay. I'm going to double check the battery charger and then I'll see if it'll start. Okay, the traction control light is on. The vehicle's not running yet, but I think I got enough voltage to start it there now. I can't say enough about that that Real Dash app. That's a pretty cool app. And the code reader is only $15, so read your own codes. And they have like the dyno mode and the data logging, so I think it's worth that alone for that stuff. Hey, it runs.